So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about how do you actually propel yourself to take action on your dreams. And when I say taking action on your dreams, I'm not talking about your daily checklist of things that you want to do. The laundry list of things that we make daily. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the big dreams. How do you actually propel yourself to take action? And I'm going to be providing you with strategies from a time where I wasn't taking action on my dreams. And something happened, something major happened in my life. I did an exercise, I did something that completely changed everything, after which I ended up meeting Dan Pena. I ended up structuring a business partnership with a $3.5 billion CEO and several other high-profile executives, including a CFO of a $400 million company, networking with high-ranking royal family members, and leading a group of individuals that have a combined 200 years of experience and billions of dollars in deal experience, including healthcare CEOs that have 30 plus years of experience. So combined, the individuals that I led have 200 plus years of experience. And I founded a company, and I ended up negotiating with billion-dollar companies. And I'm 29, and when I did this, I was 26 years old. So about 23 and 24, I wanted to do big things, and I was just dreaming. I was in the dream state, and I didn't have the energy, the roadmap, or even the willpower to propel myself into action. All of it kind of seemed like a trap to me, and I felt like I will just get sucked into this world. And so I was holding myself back, and I was keeping myself intact. And then something happened during this time, and I'm going to be sharing that experience with you so that you could get yourself to propel yourself into action. I mean, like an explosion, and accomplish results you frankly didn't think were even possible. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. Stick till the end to get the full value. Okay, so I was doing a course in which there was this exercise. It was, I think, first week, and it said, do this exercise, play this tape. And it was a death meditation. It was called the death meditation. And I was like, that is like so weird, but whatever. I'm going to follow the program as it's designed. And it said, just make the room dark and lay down, keep your phone switched off or in airplane mode, and just play this tape and see what comes up. And once the tape is over, you take a notebook and you write down what you saw. It was a little exercise, very strange. Stick with me here. So the tape starts, and it says, the ceiling of the floor cracks and the whole ceiling falls on you. And this is the last moment of your life. It's finished. No more life. No more time. No time with family. Nothing. This is it. This was it. And now you can't do anything. You're just watching everything from a distance. You've died now. And your family is taking you to the funeral. Your body is placed. And what do you see? And I start to have visions of, if this was true, what would I see? And the whole point of this was that one day this will happen. It will be unplanned, unprepared for, without a warning, bang, it would happen. At that moment, what are your biggest regrets in life? And what is happening? What is the scenario of the funeral? Who is there? Who's crying? Who's not crying? What are they talking about? And are they talking positive, negative? Who all are there? So I pictured my whole funeral. That was the exercise, is you picture your own funeral and you get present to the regrets that come up, show up. And what I saw was, my body there, and my mother was there, my brother was there. 2 or 3 or maybe 4 of my friends were there. So just 5 or 6 people on my funeral. And most of the people were not able to make it. And one of my best friends at that time, who I considered my best friend, he was on his phone. And he was like looking around, when do I leave? And 2 of my friends were crying, who I actually contributed to in my life. But you could see from the scenario that somebody ordinary had passed away. So you could see, if a person from a distance who doesn't know this person sees what's happening, they would see that it was somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's friend. But in the world, he was nobody. He was a nobody in the world. He was somebody's son, somebody's friend, but in the world, it was nobody. And later on, I confirmed it with my mother, that when her mother died, my grandmother, it was actually a handful of people. And for most people, it's a handful of people at the funeral. And that goes to show the impact that most people have in the world, in their lifetime. And I saw all that potential, all that power, all that energy never went beyond these people, these few people. It never was explosive. He wasn't someone famous. He wasn't someone who had left anything in the world. He wasn't someone who had created an impact in the world that was big enough for even more than 5 people to show. He was an ordinary man. He had an ordinary life, and that's it. He didn't do anything. He didn't create anything. He didn't build anything. He was a nobody. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. And I just saw that, and I started to cry. It was supposed to be a very dramatic process that's supposed to wake you up. And I started to cry and cry and cry and cry. And the speaker in the tape was saying, you can't move your body. It's done. And that's the moment where I woke up, and you were supposed to write down your realizations in the diary right away. And I started to write down the following, that the biggest regret that I had was that I spent too much time with my friends. And I spent too much time consuming social media. I was all the time on my phone, and I didn't live. I didn't celebrate. I didn't leave a big impact in my life. I didn't create any legacy. I didn't create a body of work that influenced a large group of people. And I died as an ordinary man. That's what I saw. And that was the biggest nightmare that I had ever seen. And there were so many things I wanted to say to the people who were important to me. I didn't say them. And I didn't create anything. I didn't take any risk. I didn't raise any capital. I didn't build a company. I did nothing. I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. Thinking about it today, thinking about it tomorrow, thinking about it day after. And one day, boom, it happened. And it was it. And that's how most people go. And when I saw that, I wrote down that something has to change now. Because death doesn't come by invitation. It just happens. It just happens. Sometimes you don't even know about it. It's done. It's gone. Not everybody's going to get sick before they pass away. For some people, it just happens like a bang. So if that is the case, then how would you live? And what would you do? And what would you want it to happen by that time? What are the things that would have happened? How would you want your funeral to look like? Because that is going to happen. One day it will happen. It happened to my father. I was 9 years old. He passed away. It happens to all of us. It's going to happen to all of us. And the realization that this time that you have is so so valuable. And it's just so temporary. This thing that you see around, it's just so temporary. It's going to go, it's just going to flash in no time. It's going to go away. Just how a day passes, boom, it's gone. 5 years, boom, gone. It's just gone. It's like time is going like a lightning speed. And if you don't have your day planned, your years planned, things in a structure, things will not happen. And I realized I'm never going to wake up in the morning where I don't know exactly what I'm going to do today. All my excuses about not making the to-do list, not making a plan, not making a structure, not writing down actions, not dressing up, not getting into business, not making money, I was procrastinating on all of this. I started to write down everything in specific details, big goals, big dreams. And that's actually that moment, that time, because I had done that exercise after a couple of months when I had met Dan Pena and I started to execute, that death meditation is what helped me when I saw the company CEO of a $3.5 billion company. I just stood up. I was like, this is my moment. Enough of let me get ready, just now, let me get ready. Enough of that, it's now. You will never discover swimming until you jump in the pool. There is no such thing as learning how to swim and then you jump into the pool. You got to jump in the pool. And something just woke up in me and I just went in and I closed him as a business partner. And that's the time when I discovered my potential, my true potential. And then after that, the things that I did, I surprised myself at every moment. But at the back of my mind, always this thing was there. And that's how this channel came about also, is because I wanted to leave this effect on the world. When I leave, I want there to be a void in the world. I mean, millions of people are like, oh fuck, what are we going to do now? And then I saw the positive that I can turn things around because that moment hasn't come yet and I have the time. So, and then the death meditation ends by saying, okay, you come back in your body and you get up and you have this last leash of life. You sent back last leash of life. What are you going to do? And how are you going to change it? And I leave you with that. I'll talk to you soon.